Hi there, and welcome back to rLounge. As we all know, some people walk around like their crap don't stink. But it does. It smells awful, and no one wants to be around that kind of stink. If they are throwing shade, just throw it right back. No, I don't work for the university. I'm not going to carry your bags. Leave us the heck alone. We, equals girlfriend and me, met our first real Karen in the wild, and oh my gosh. I'll never look at this channel the same again because I can now truly imagine some of the situations that get shared here. Backstory. I live in a town in the Netherlands which has a university that is also internationally known. As a result, we get a lot of foreign students here, which, in my opinion anyway, is what makes this place so nice to live in. When shopping, for example, you can easily run into people speaking English, obviously, German, French, Spanish, and there are even Chinese and Japanese students here. I kinda enjoy that international character, especially when you keep in mind that my hometown is actually rather small. Anyway, my girlfriend has an overseas cousin living in Japan who got accepted to attend the university. And since my girlfriend hadn't seen her cousin for many years, she was obviously really looking forward to meeting up again once we learned of this. Things to know. My girlfriend and me don't live together, but we do go visit each other every weekend, either her or my place. Obviously, she came over to me this weekend. Another thing is that I often enjoy wearing a body warmer versus a regular coat, which apparently sometimes makes you stand out a bit, but really not that much more from someone wearing a red or bright yellow jacket, which is sometimes also a thing over here. Alas, when this incident took place, the cousin had been here for roughly a week or so. The meet. So it's Saturday, the weather is very nice, and so off we go. Now, the university doesn't really have a dormitory, as you often see in the US, but from what I heard, they do maintain a few buildings around town where some students are invited to. Most students need to take care of their own housing though, but the cousin got lucky and was invited to stay in one of the buildings maintained by the university itself. When we got there, it was somewhat busy because there were a few new students moving in, so we met up outside in front of the building. My girlfriend and cousin were very happy to actually meet in person again, so yeah, first moments there was a lot of Japanese going back and forth, but eventually they decided to switch to English because they figured this was more fair towards me and now I could also join the conversations. I didn't really mind though, I actually learned a few new Japanese phrases. So here we were, talking in English about stuff when we were suddenly met with, "Finally, some service. You can stop talking to those bimbos now and get to work here." And when the three of us look over to where this tirade was coming from, we see a filled out woman with that hairstyle, sunglasses, the works as she drops 2 suitcases right next to me, followed by a bag she was wearing over her shoulder, and then proceeds to walk towards the building. What the heck? "Madam, what are you doing? You shouldn't just leave your bags here." I tell her, but to no avail. She completely ignores me and just walks inside the building. "Bimbos?" my girlfriend asks. I tell the ladies that we're just going to stand somewhere away from the suitcases since these aren't ours. When the cousin asks if that isn't dangerous because someone could steal them, my girlfriend and me basically tell her that, screw that. We're not going to look after someone's luggage after they just insulted us. My girlfriend excuses herself to me and explains to her cousin, in Japanese again, that the culture in the Netherlands is very different from that in Japan and that she needs to be careful about this because some people might otherwise take advantage of her sense of moral. The twist. Because I couldn't really participate in that conversation, I started paying more attention to our surroundings again and noticed that a student had come out of the building, noticed the suitcases, and was now looking around. When he noticed me looking at him, he asked me if I knew whose suitcases they were, and I told him that, sorry Dutch people, "Een of ander arrogant Amerikaans truth heeft die uitgelaten." Translation, some arrogant American witch has left those behind. And the very moment I told him, I noticed that he immediately knew who I was talking about. He tells me that she was the mother of one of the new students, and she had been nothing but trouble for the past days. However, because they couldn't really do anything about her, they just tried to ignore it as best as possible. Also, because the daughter was nothing like her mother at all, and even profusely apologized several times for the sometimes mental behavior. One of the reasons the daughter decided to attend the university was also to get away from her mom in the first place. Fortunately enough, the mother would be gone in a few days, and that would be the end of it, so people just figured they'd cope while it lasted. Next, he grabs the suitcases, declines my offer to help, and tells me he'll take them inside the building to keep them safe and he'll let the student know about it. Say, if anyone other than the harpy lady asks, please tell them that name has them. Otherwise, could you please just ignore her or something? I know I'm asking a lot. He tells me. I smile, nod, but tell him no promises. And meanwhile, the ladies had switched back to English again. This time we're talking about shops that are available. The cousin tells us that she's lucky to have found a discounter, Aldi, but it's somewhat far away. After which, girlfriend and me tell her that there's a little close by, which is also not too expensive. One thing leads to another, and we soon decide to go over there, Also because girlfriend and me had to do some shopping anyway. So the cousin runs inside to grab her bag and some other stuff while girlfriend and me wait outside. The fallout. Sure enough, Harpy Lady shows up again, spots me and storms over. "Hey you, where are my bags?" She yells. I tell her, "How should I know? Maybe try asking inside." And she looks pissed. "No, that is your problem. You go get my bags already, right now." Is this for real? Are we actually experiencing a Karen in the wild? It was then and there when I decided that I would write this up, especially when I replied, "Madam, this isn't my job. I don't work here." She almost cuts me off. "Shut up. Of course it's your job. You're wearing a uniform." At which point my girlfriend completely loses it in laughter, which visibly annoys the Harpy Lady even more. "You call that a Oh my god, that's a uniform?" My girlfriend stammers. She now officially has the giggles. Poor me. "How stupid are you?" And she laughs some more, almost doubling over. See, we actually had a small argument about my choice of pants this morning. I wore a rather worn out pair of jeans, of which the end of the pipes, the legs, were basically torn in half because I figured I'd just wear it despite it being a little bit too long for me. Strong boots and a little disregard for puddles. Just do it eventually took their toll on the pipes. I think it looks kind of rough and rugged, better than people who wear pants with holes in them, but my girlfriend disagrees, though she does respect my choices, bless her. But yeah, what uniform? Alas, now we had an enraged Harpy Lady. "What's your name? I'm going to report you to the management," she yells at me. My girlfriend's giggles now also started to have their effect on me, so I go, "You don't need to know our identification," even briefly making the gesture a bit, which obviously triggered my girlfriend even further, which in its turn enraged the Harpy Lady a whole lot more. She actually turned red. "How dare you make fun of me? This is all your fault. I'll have your job. I'll sue. Just you wait. You're going to pay big time for my damages, and once my lawyers..." And then I followed up on something that I actually remembered more people mentioning on this very same channel, which was already fully in my mind by then. I raised my finger and moved it straight into her face. Much to my surprise, this was the very first time in my entire life I ever did that, and it actually worked. She actually piped down, giving me the opportunity to retort. "I told you, I do not work here. I don't work for the university. I don't work for this building. I am a visitor. I even tried to warn you about this, but you chose to ignore me. What kind of idiot just dumps their suitcases next to a complete stranger in front of a building?" The shopping. At this time, the cousin comes out again, sees the commotion, but my girlfriend quickly snaps out of her giggles, at least for the moment, which is all I noticed, and beckons her cousin over while she starts walking towards the gate, giving me a quick pat on the back to make sure she is aware of this. So I tell the Harpy, "Go inside, try asking nicely if someone knows about any unattended suitcases, and leave us the F alone." While I'm starting to follow my girlfriend, which is followed by a "How dare you?" to which I say, "No, how dare you?" and we walk away. As we're 5 or so minutes into our walk with casual chatter, my girlfriend suddenly says, "She's following us." We decide to ignore her and went our way to the supermarket. We do our shopping. Girlfriend and me even decide on a little courtesy gift, so when we're standing in line before the registers, girlfriend tells her cousin that we'll be paying for her groceries, which almost brought her to tears. She was very appreciative. Really nice girl. And then we got into the second act. Suddenly, the woman started screaming and shrieking that, "I need a manager. Those a-holes stole my luggage," which immediately sent my girlfriend into giggles again when she murmured, "Our Royal Highness's masked luggage." We saw Spaceballs just the night before. As could be expected over here, nothing happened. We paid, bagged our stuff, and left while the woman kept shrieking when I suddenly heard an alarm going off just as we went outside, but for obvious reasons, we didn't stick around, nor did we see her following us anymore. We actually did learn what happened though. Aftermath. This evening, my girlfriend gets a text from her cousin asking if we could meet at the park. In the evening, strange, but we go over there and sure enough, cousin's there with another girl. This girl turned out to be the Harpy's daughter, who immediately apologizes to us, telling us over and over how sorry she was for what happened. She learned that girlfriend's cousin was somewhat involved in the happenings and thus asked, pleaded, almost begged her if she please would allow her to apologize to us in person. Writing this up still makes me swallow uneasy. This still gets to me. I really feel bad for the poor girl. At the same time, I also really admire how she manages to distance herself from all the crap that her mother is pulling. Seriously, if she would ever ask for help, then both girlfriend and me will probably step right in, even though we don't know her. Yeah, that girl was nothing like her mother, nothing at all. The apple can fall far from the tree, it seems. I honestly felt and still feel sorry for the poor girl. Really, because she was very sincere. very honest, and a really fun and cheerful person to be around with. We're even planning to invite her to a future shopping with the 4 of us. See how that goes? Me and 3 giggling girls? Oh dear. But what happened? Enter the Netherlands, where no one pays any attention to screaming lunatics, unless of course they try to leave a store with stolen goods. It seems she took something out of our cart, but although none of us noticed her doing that, my girlfriend did notice the item, candy, missing, so she just grabbed it again from the racks next to the registers, and we checked out as if nothing happened. When we just bagged our things and left, versus getting upset over our missing item, I guess, the harpy lost it and ran after us, which triggered the alarm, which triggered security. And because of her actions, several cashiers already had their eyes on her, so when she did make a run, they immediately jumped her. No, she didn't spend the night in jail or anything. In the Netherlands, we take great care for our criminals, but according to the daughter, really nice girl, the experience did have its effect on her mother. Not a positive one though. It seems the mother is going to sue Little once she's back in the States because they served someone who stole her luggage. Even the fact that the girlfriend, the daughter, got her suitcases back afterwards doesn't seem to change this. Typo, my bad. Tomorrow, she'll be gone though, and we can sleep easy again. My heart goes out to all our US Redditors who risk having to deal with this kind of stupidity on a daily basis. This was a tiring, taxing, and bizarre experience, and I hope I'll never meet a Karen again. Thanks for reading. The community has some thoughts. OK Cartographer 4475 says, I'm genuinely baffled by people who shout and scream. Does it ever work in getting what they want versus being polite, which I know from experience works very well? Catacombs 3 chimes in some places there is a service culture which rewards aggressive, unreasonable customers who create drama. Experience teaches them that they will get extra attention, free stuff if they throw a tantrum. Many managers rush to placate a fussy customer without thinking about the long-term consequences of rewarding, shouting, aggressive behavior. B. Strauss 3 adds, wait until Harpy Lady finds out what it will cost to have a certified copy of the complaint translated into a certified copy in Dutch. T. Carlson 65 says, if she truthfully tells the story, she will have a hard time finding a lawyer to take the case. Star Fairy adds, the pipes reminds me of my mom. She still occasionally calls them that. In English, it's just legs. Pants have legs. Though I always thought pipes made more sense. OP replies, I learned something new again. Thanks, I'll try to keep this in mind. Man, comments like yours are exactly why I came to love Reddit so much. You can truly learn from each other when you're in different countries and such. Thanks for your feedback. And it makes sense too. Now I recall leggings, which isn't really a thing here, but something I'm well aware of. Oh dear, what a woman. Why do people think they can behave so horrendously, especially in a foreign country? It's super important to be respectful to the cultures in the countries that you're visiting. This woman has no respect for anyone, so I guess it doesn't really matter to her as she clearly thinks the world revolves around her. Moreover, I'm actually not surprised that her daughter isn't anything like her. Who would want to be like that? I'd be traumatized and so incredibly embarrassed if my parent behaved that way and made a fool out of themselves. I mean, she actually followed you around. That's horrific. And it honestly takes way too much energy to be vicious all of the time. She definitely taught her daughter how not to behave. It honestly doesn't take much to be a good person. And I'm so sorry you, your girlfriend, and her cousin had to experience this. It's awful when you're just trying to go throughout your day and people just try to crap all over it. I hope this woman learned her lesson. Tell us your Karen experiences in the comments below. And thank you for joining us today on rLounge. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you have something you want to say regarding today's content, share that with us in the comments below. Bye for now.